hello and good afternoon. I'd like to thank you for being here for my presentation. And I'd like to take a minute to talk to you about the medicinal and monetary benefits that the legalization of marijuana could bring our country that would far outweigh the negatives. My name is Emily Dodgett, and I'm a student at the University of West Georgia. As a wife of a veteran suffering from PTSD, I understand the need to use a natural approach to treat some disorders. Marijuana is a natural plant which has many medicinal benefits as well as monetary value that taxation could bring if legalized. The first recorded use of marijuana for medicinal purposes was in 2737 BC, and it has also been found further back on Egyptian scrolls as far as 2000 BC. I'm going to explain some of the medical benefits marijuana provides, as well as possible income potential for legalization for recreational use. Marijuana can provide relief to many ailments, as well as bring in millions of tax dollars if it was legalized nationwide. So now I'm going to take a second to tell you about the marijuana plant and its history. Marijuana is a mixture of dried leaves from the cannabis plant, and it can be used by smoking, consuming it, vaporizing it, or using it topically. The main psychoactive ingredient is the delta-9 hydrocannabinol, which is also known as THC. It can be found in the resin of leaves, primarily in the female plants. According to Brian Hill in his article, Legalize Marijuana, Canada Comes Round to the Wisdom of Ages, the first recorded use of marijuana as a medicinal drug occurred in 2737 BC by the Chinese Emperor Shen Nung, who documented the drug's effectiveness in treating pains of rheumatism and gout. Hill states that marijuana first arrived in the United States between 1910 and 1911 due to immigrants fleeing Mexico during the Mexican Revolution, and the Marijuana Tax Act banned all sales and usage 17 years later in 1927. The plant, when smoked or vaped, the user begins to feel the effects almost immediately, and when consumed, the effects are often delayed. Effects include euphoria, relaxation, delayed sense of time, pain control, and appetite enhancement. It can also vary with other users. Next, I'm going to explain the benefits that states have already seen due to legalization. 6 U.S. states have legalized marijuana for recreational use, including Colorado, Washington, California, Nevada, Massachusetts, and Maine. According to Muralini Krishna, a report from the Colorado State University's Pueblo Institute of Cannabis Research recently found that the legal cannabis industry has contributed more than $58 million to the local economy, primarily through taxes and other fees. Legalization can provide thousands of jobs for unemployed individuals, including farming, processing, dispensing, as well as selling, and secondary jobs including marketing or those in the legal field. The enforcement of marijuana is costing our government billions, and by legalizing it, we would have fewer arrests, fewer court sessions, fewer people jailed, and therefore less money spent towards enforcing it criminally. Legalization also opens up investment opportunities which are otherwise difficult to engage in, while the drug remains illegal on a federal level. Next, I'm going to talk about the medicinal benefits that marijuana usage can bring. The cannabis plant has been used for thousands of years to treat ailments before it was made illegal in many countries. It has been legalized in Canada for medicinal use since 2001, and it became legal within the UK November 1st. According to Dr. Peter Grinspoon, the most common use of medicinal marijuana is for chronic pain control and can often be used in place of NSAIDs such as Advil or Aleve. It also eases the pain of multiple sclerosis patients and relaxes muscles in those suffering from Parkinson's. Many veterans report drastic improvement with the usage upon returning from combat zones as opposed to the use of antidepressants to treat PTSD. Also, you are unable to OD on marijuana as opposed to other drugs that many use to self-medicate. Antidepressants also come with side effects with both continual usage and when the user stops. Medicinal marijuana does not come with this. And lastly, it is used to manage nausea and weight loss, and has been reported to be extremely beneficial to those suffering from cancer during chemotherapy treatment. Now you're aware of some of the benefits that legalization of marijuana for recreational use can bring. My husband is a military vet with PTSD, and I believe he should have access to marijuana for treatment as opposed to being prescribed just antidepressants. The legalization of marijuana can bring jobs and revenue to our country through both medicinal and recreational use. I've explained to you some of the history of marijuana, legalization, benefits for recreational and medicinal use. Legalization can bring revenue and jobs, as well as provide relief to thousands that are suffering. Why hold that